You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, welcome back. We are doing No More Future again, so let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Alrighty. Well, your plan does rely on a rather big assumption, alright. Jasper's voice swiftly brings your mind back to his plane of reality, almost making you forget about everything you just wondered about. But I'm willing to take the risk, if you insist. I'll be sure to schedule our next appointment somewhere far more lively, and hope things turn out better this way. Your musings are interrupted by the sound of a car pulling over near the two of you, and one you recognize at that. Well, there's my ride. Well. It was alright to dine with you, Isaac. Sans the end, obviously. Now, if you'll excuse me. Hold on, you're not thinking of leaving without me, are you? Of course. Frankly, we spent more than enough time together for one day for my tastes. I don't intend to sour my perception of you or vice versa by extending that time any further. I'm sure you share my thoughts on the matter. Yeah, right. You're just looking for an excuse to ditch me. Unfortunately, your accusations fall on deaf ears, mostly because you don't have the guts to voice them out loud. Besides, I'm sure you'll be able to make it back to your place on your own. You hardly need me in that regard. The Drake spares no further words as he enters his vehicle, yet you have your doubts. Especially as a familiar crowd of people appears out of a nearby corner. There it is! The synthetic! Would you mind answering a few questions, please? It'll only take a moment of your time. A swarm of journalists mixed with common people encroaches on your position, mics and smartphones at the ready. The sight is becoming more and more familiar with each passing day. You know you said you didn't want to run from the news any longer just a few minutes ago, but who are you kidding? You don't have the patience to deal with these people right now. After spending an entire lunch session enduring Jasper and Bradbury's nonsense, you make as if to book out of there, but a stern hand coming from within the limousine pinches your trousers. I changed my mind. Get in. You mean, all right. You hardly need convincing to step into the car and close the door behind you, right as the relentless reporters reach your location. They keep shouting questions and prompts at you from outside as the vehicle returns to the road and speeds away, their pleas going unanswered for one more day. No, who the hell is calling me? 1 second, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I did not expect to get a fucking call on Discord. What the hell? Alrighty. Inside the car, you turn to face the CEO turned savior. Thanks. I mean it. Don't thank me yet. I only did this to stop you from blathering about what happened at the restaurant to the reporters. You need to go to the train station to get to your place, correct? I'll deliver you there personally, then you'll be on your own. Now leave me be. I could use some peace and quiet right now. Charming as usual, indeed. Yet more thoughtful and charitable than you gave him credit for, evidently. Thanks. Your second round of apologies elicits an annoyed sigh from the Drake, and he turns his gaze to avoid yours once more, suddenly looking rather uncomfortable. Feeling a little dejected, you take some time to reflect on your time with Jasper so far. You're still not sure what to think of this Drake, but you feel like you're slowly getting a better idea each day. He still is overtly hostile to you as always, but he seems willing to improve provided you show him adequate reasons to do so. Much like you are, to be fair. Alright, 1 second, y'all. Water time. Alright, guys and gals, and we are back. Let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Well, your plan does rely on a rather big assumption, alright. Jasper's voice swiftly brings your mind back to his plane of reality, almost making you forget about everything you just wondered about. But I'm willing to take the risk if you insist. Oh, shit, did it not save correctly? Hold up, y'all. Let me, auto... There we go. Okay. Here's hoping that attitude is not just for show. Okay, there we go. The trip to the train station is just as slow and tedious as the one to the restaurant from earlier. The streets are a little less packed than they used to be a few hours ago, yet they're still quite time-consuming to navigate. The perks of living in a bustling metropolis, you suppose. Jasper's temporary silence allows you some time to look outside and enjoy your colorful surroundings in relative peace. The gaudy shopping districts soon fade out into housing neighborhoods, which are just as lively as their inner-city relatives. Perhaps a bit too lively if the Drake's endless sighing and queues of cars before you are anything to go by. Eventually, a peculiar melody breaks the silence in the car, emanating from within the reptile's pockets. and Jasper reaches for the source and, after some fiddling around, eventually pulls out a small phone. He opens it and presses it close to his right ear. "What do you..." The furious shouting coming from the other end of the device is so loud that it startles even you, and you're sitting on the other end of the vehicle. It takes a while for the Drake to recover from the sheer shock of that rambunctious voice, but he somehow manages to pull himself together eventually. "For crying out loud, quiet down already, I can hear you just fine." Get more shouting from the other end of the call. Kind of sounds like a woman's voice if you're not mistaken. And you only know of one lady who wouldn't be afraid of yelling at the dragon before you like that. "If only you'd let me answer your bloody questions." The voice pipes down just a tad, finally allowing Jasper a breather. "The android is fine. He's with me right now. I decided to bring him to the train station by car so he can head home safely." His expression turns from annoyed to even more annoyed in an instant. "What do you mean, why am I doing this? Isn't the answer clear as day?" After some more arguing, he eventually lets out a defeated sigh. "You two really are idiots. Catch." With a speedy motion, the Drake throws the phone in your direction almost angrily. Though it's traveling faster than the car, you somehow manage to catch it before you can hit you square in the face, probably courtesy of your synthetic reflexes or whatever Mary was going on about the other day. "You deal with her." Good lord, what a fucking child. Regardless of your opinions on the Drake's temper tantrum, you do as you're asked to try to raise the phone to your ear, hoping that you'll fare better than your companion over there just did. "Hello?" "Finally! Took him long enough!" Mary's voice still comes off as somewhat aggressive, but much more relieved than now that she's speaking with you. Oh, yeah, got me some tea. Chamomile and lemongrass. It's good. "Well, how did it go? Are you alright?" Yeah, I'm fine. Why were you worried?" "No shit, I was." "Why? Were you worried?" "No shit, I was. I thought you'd be finished an hour ago at least." You take a brief moment to stare at your inner clock, prompted by Mary's apprehension. "It's like it's just about 3 o'clock. Pretty late indeed." "Sorry about that. Stuff happened and all." "Stuff happened?" The doubt in Mary's voice is almost palpable. What did happen exactly?" You're not sure how truthfully you're meant to answer that question, especially with Jasper right in front of you. "Hey, aren't you being a tad too forward right now? I mean, I literally died not even 3 weeks ago, for heaven's sake. It's not like it gets much worse than that, you know." A morbid joke for sure, but it's just what you need to crack the woman up. Alright, point taken. Glad I could convince you. But for real, I'm fine, alright? I mean, I just had lunch. You don't need to act so distressed. I know, I was only joking. Well, partly anyway. The feline's tone shifts dramatically downward as she tries to explain herself. I did leave you all alone with Jasper for a while, after all, and we both know how harsh he can be. Well, all of the time. And probably not my smartest move, after the grilling he gave us in front of the owners. Yeah, I can sort of see the truth in that. After a brief pause, Mary addresses you once again, dead serious. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. I'm still trying to sort things out and stuff. That stupid deadline that those wheelchair riders came up with really messes with my schedule. But I shouldn't have forgotten about your feelings in the midst of all that. At the end of the day, you're still in my care, and I should have fought harder for you. You have to work hard not to laugh at that last statement, in spite of how much it warms your heart. Jeez, you're making it sound like you dropped me in a bottomless pit or something. I said I'm fine, remember? I know you're busy and all, and you can't take care of everything at once all the time. It's okay if you had bigger priorities this time. Plus, we literally just ate together. What else do you think might have happened? Okay, that last part might have been pushing it a bit too far, truth be told. You're still debating whether to keep that transpired to yourself or share it with your friends. That doesn't sound like a decision you should make lightly in view of everything you've learned. Even if this does kind of make you just as guilty of hiding things as Mary is. But the cat deserves a taste of her own medicine at any rate, or so you believe. Worst case scenario, should you decide or be convinced to tell her the truth later, you can always blame your silence on the Drake. Well, alright then, I'll take your word for it. Mary interrupts your musings at the most inopportune time, seemingly willing to believe everything you've told her so far. Again, sorry for nagging you like this. You know how I am when it comes to that overgrown lizard. Yeah, you don't need to tell me. Though, now that I think about it, if you wanted to speak with me anyway, what was the point of calling Jasper? The inquiry seems to draw the attention of the dragon himself, who leans forward in his seat as if to try and listen in on the conversation. Well, I wouldn't have had an opportunity to yell at him if I did that, would I? It takes all your strength not to laugh out loud at that joke, but somehow you succeed. It doesn't look as though Jasper overheard that, since he quickly slumps back in his seat as if nothing happened. He looks irked, for sure, but not as much as he would have been had he actually had caught all that. Anyway, what's this about you going back to the train station? Mary once again catches your attention with a well-placed question. Well, despite everything going more or less smoothly, I'm still feeling quite drained from everything. I just thought I'd head home early and take the rest of the day off. Good thinking. Honestly, that sounds like the best course of action. Yeah, besides, the only thing we needed to do together was get rid of that taser in my tail, right? You give a carefree glance in Jasper's direction. He's currently staring out the window, apparently unbothered by your conversation. But looks can be deceiving, as you know quite well yourself. We can always do that next time I come over. I'm sure he won't mind. Provided you don't do anything reckless with it. The Drake gives you a quiet warning while he gazes outside, confirming your suspicions. Well, alright then. Sounds like a plan. We really gotta meet up again one of these days. Losing the opportunity to dine out together really sucks. Sadly, it doesn't seem like we can do that today. Like I said, dumb deadlines, annoying wrenches in my plans. Plus that whole warehouse affair from yesterday that I have yet to figure out. Oh, right, you were supposed to go to Chicago and learn more about some missing synthetic bodies, right? How did that whole thing go, by the way? I just realized I forgot to ask earlier. Don't worry about it. We're busy with other topics anyway. Plus, I didn't find out much. The security footage conveniently cut off at the exact moment of the theft, and there were no traces of the bodies left for me to examine. Seriously? How are you meant to recover them then? The simple answer is, I can't. I'm not on my own anyway. After I realized this, I called Bradbury and told him about what happened. Given the scale of the theft and the lengths the perpetrators went to cover their tracks, I figured he was the only one equipped to track them down. So he's taking over the investigation? Hard to believe, given his presence at the restaurant just now. Either he's really confident in his team's ability to track down those bodies, or he doesn't care about the theft in the least. You make as if to question the cat further on the topic, but you quickly notice Jasper staring daggers at you from his seat. Now that you think about it, you have been hogging his phone for quite a while now. Now that you've placated Mary's anger, he probably expects you to return it. Okay, now. Actually, can we continue this another time? I think Jasper wants his phone back. Of course he does, the big baby. Alright, no problem. Like I said, it's not exactly our problem anymore. I can always have Natalie fill you in later if you want. Well, alright then. I'll catch you later, I guess. You too. See ya. For ya. You move the phone away from your ear and press the big red button to end the call. It feels a lot more natural indeed. Having a call on phone, pressing a button to start it and another to end it. Not at all like what you've been doing in the past few days, holding conversations entirely in your head, beginning and ending them by merely thinking about it. You might need a little more time before you... Excuse me. The Drake stares at you with stone-cold eyes. My phone. Oh, right. You hand over the device back to its rightful owner, who proceeds to clean it thoroughly with a handkerchief nabbed from one of his pockets before stuffing it in another. About time. I was beginning to worry you might never quiet down over there. Sorry, I guess I got a little carried away. That you did. The dragon crosses his arms as he goes back to staring outside the window. It's incredible how quickly her tone changed once she began speaking with you. Pardon me? Instead of answering, Jasper merely shakes his head. As though I could even do anything to rough her up, sir. To rough her up, oh, so precious Robo-Boy. Well, can you blame her? You tried to fire her and get rid of all synthetics only a few hours ago. A decision I still find rather difficult to regret. Now it's your turn to slump back in your seat, thoroughly drained by this exchange. Talking with Jasper still feels like climbing a mountain made of eggshells. Sometimes it's fun, but most of the time it's just exhausting. Alright, y'all, I'm actually going to pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I love you all. I am tired, and I shall see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!